Did you know that there is a secret food that is being hidden from you, and that when you eat it, trillions of tiny bacteria inside your belly start making chemicals that climb straight to your brain and make you feel instantly happier, calmer, and more full of life? And that the food industry doesn't want you to find out this because this food is cheap, natural, and will make you stop buying all those processed products that make you addicted, depressed, and sick. In the next few minutes, will reveal exactly what this food is, where to find it, and how to use it to completely transform your mood, your energy, and even cure that anxiety that pursues you every day. Imagine waking up in the morning and feeling that genuine desire to get out of bed, without squeezing the alarm clock 5 times, without that weight on your back, without that feeling that the day will be just another tiring battle. Imagine looking in the mirror and seeing your skin shining, your belly finally smooth, without that annoying swelling that won't leave at all. Imagine being able to focus on work without that mental mist that makes you read the same paragraph 3 times. Imagine sleeping deeply all night and wake up really rested. All of this is possible to change a single thing in your diet, and I will show you exactly what. But before I need to tell you a shocking truth that doctors are discovering now, and that it will change everything you thought about mental health. Within your belly, right now, there are more than 100 trillions of bacteria living there. And these bacteria are not just innocent passengers. They literally control everything in your body, from weight to your mood, from their allergies to their desire to eat sweet. There is a war happening inside between good bacteria and bad bacteria, and who is winning this war determines if you will be a happy and healthy person or if you will live tired, anxious, and sick. Here is the part that will leave you with your mouth open. 90% of all the serotonin of your body, that hormone of happiness that everyone talks about, is not made in the brain, as you have always heard. It is produced there in your gut by good bacteria when they are well fed and happy. So basically, your belly is a secret factory of happiness that no one has ever told you that it existed. And the key to activating this factory is in a specific type of food that your good bacteria love, but that you have probably stopped eating because modern food no longer has it. Scientists had a frightening experience. They took the bacteria from the gut of people with depression and put these bacteria in healthy rats that were super happy and playful. Do you know what happened? The rats were depressed too, stopped playing, quiet in the corner, and lost interest in life. This has proven once and for all that the bacteria of your intestine control your brain and mood in a way that no one imagined. And if you are feeling sad, anxious, or without energy, it may be that your good bacteria are starving as the bad bacteria have taken over everything. CTA with mental triggers of fear, urgency, and scarcity. Look, I need to be brutally honest with you now. Every day that passes without you taking care of the bacteria of your intestine, the bad bacteria are gaining more territory, multiplying, destroying the intestinal wall, and making toxins that are literally poisoning your brain right now. While you're still wondering whether or not you will download the ebook, your good bacteria are starving, weakening, and soon there will be no return. Because when the intestinal wall gets too drilled, when chronic inflammation settles, reverse this picture is 10 times more difficult, more timely, and more painful. I have prepared the complete digital ebook, Armored Stomach, the definitive guide to cure your intestine and transform your life, and made it available for free. But it won't last forever. I will tell you the naked and raw truth. I can only keep this material free until it reaches 1,000 downloads. Because after that, I will need to charge for content to continue producing this type of information that no one else is sharing. At this point, we have passed 800 downloads, and the number is rising fast. Any second can hit the limit, and when this happens, free access disappears, and you will have to pay to get the information that could have been yours for free. I'm not talking about this to press you. I'm warning you because I know that in a week you will come back here looking for the link, and you will find that now it costs money and will hit that bitter regret of having lost the chance. Inside the ebook has informations that can literally save your mental and physical health, have the complete list of 30 foods that heal the gut, the 7-day menu ready for you to start tomorrow, the secret recipes I use to keep my intestine working perfectly, the danger signs that indicate that you are developing intestines and may be on the way to autoimmune diseases, chronic depression, or worse. This material took months to create. There were hundreds of hours of research, dozens of scientific studies analyzed, all compiled in a simple format that anyone can understand and apply. Think to me, how old have you lost feeling tired, swollen, anxious, sad for no reason? How much money has you ever played outside buying medicine that only treats symptom but never heals anything? How many opportunities did you pass because you had no energy or mood? And now you have the free solution in front of you, available for immediate download. And are you hesitating? Every second you take, someone else is lowering. Closer we come from the limit, and more their bad bacteria are strengthening within you, causing irreversible damage. The link is here in the description, or the first comment fixed, are literally 2 clicks, and the full ebook is on your phone or computer for you to read and start applying immediately. No need to register credit card, no prank. There is no cost while still within the free download limit. But you need to act now, no tomorrow, not after you finish watching other videos right now, because when you beat 1,000 downloads, it's over, simple. I will not make exception to anyone. I will not reopen later, when closing it is for real. So do not send me a message in 3 days asking the link, because there will be no free access. Think of your health. Think of your future. Think about how you will feel in 2 weeks when you start seeing the results. Sleeping better, waking up with energy, your belly discharging, mood improving, anxiety decreasing. Or think otherwise, how it will be in 2 months if you continue on the way you are, feeding the wrong bacteria, letting inflammation worse, moving to increasingly serious health problems. The choice is yours, but time is passing. Click the link now, download the ebook, and starts today the transformation that will change your life forever before it's too late. Click on the link fixed in the comments now. The ebook is there. Now you might be thinking, if it's that simple, why no one told me that before? Why didn't my doctor say anything? The answer will make you angry. The pharmaceutical industry earns billions selling antidepressants and anxiety remedies that treat only symptoms but never cure the root cause of the problem. The food industry earns other billions selling sugar and chemistry processed food that feeds bad bacteria and makes you addicted, sad, and wanting to eat more and more. If everyone found out that he can cure sadness, anxiety, and a mountain of other problems simply by changing what he eats, these industries would lose astronomical fortunes. But the truth is now leaking through scientific studies that can no longer be hidden. Universities around the world are publishing research showing that intestinal health is the key to just about everything, from autoimmune diseases to cancer, from obesity to Alzheimer's. The intestine is being called a second brain by scientists, and they found that there is a giant nerve named vagus nerve that acts like a direct phone connecting their gut to their brain. And good bacteria use this phone to send chemical messages that control their mood, motivation, and even their thoughts. When you feed good bacteria with the right food, they begin to produce magical compounds with strange names such as butyrato and propionate that reduce inflammation, strengthen the intestinal wall, protect your brain against degenerative diseases, and make you feel incredibly well. But when you eat processed crap, bad bacteria multiply like pests and start producing toxins that pierce the intestine wall, enter the bloodstream, reach the brain, and cause that chronic inflammation that makes you bad, tired, and heavy-head. The secret food that feeds the bacteria of happiness has a kind of complicated scientific name, but the concept is super simple, called prebiotic, and is basically a special type of fiber that you cannot digest, but that good bacteria love to eat. When you swallow prebiotics, They pass intact through the stomach and small intestine as if they were passengers on an express train, and only stop there in the large intestine where they prey trillions of their friendly bacteria that were waiting hungry for this food. When they finally receive prebiotics, these bacteria make a giant chemical party and begin to make all those substances that make you feel at the top of the world. Now comes the best part. This food is no expensive supplement. It is no imported pill. It is common foods that your grandparents ate every day and that are available at any fair or market, waiting for you to discover the hidden superpower within them. I will show you exactly what they are, how to eat, and what will happen day after day when you start feeding your bacteria of happiness the right way and finally regain control of your mood, your energy, and your life. Did you know that there is a kind of food that the good bacteria in your intestine love so much that they literally dance with happiness when you eat? And when these bacteria are happy, they make chemicals that go up to your brain and make you feel happier, calm, and full of energy. Yeah, it looks like science fiction movie, but it's real, and science is discovering it right now. Imagine that inside your belly there is a giant city with trillions of tiny residents. So small that you would need a super powerful microscope to see just one of them. These residents are the bacteria, and there are so many of them living inside you that if we could tell one by one, we would have more bacteria in our body than stars on the whole Milky Way. Now comes the crazy part. These bacteria are not just walking around doing nothing, they are working all the time for you, making vitamins, fighting bad invaders, and talking directly to your brain through a secret telephone named Nerve Vago. But here is the problem that no one told you. These good bacteria are starving in most people. Do you know why? Because we stop eating their favorite food, and when they get weak and hungry, the bad bacteria take over the intestinal city, and then begins a war inside. When the bad bacteria get this war, strange things start to happen. You get sadder for no apparent reason. Your belly swells like a balloon. You feel tired even after sleeping 8 hours, and that crazy desire to eat sweet all the time appears out of nowhere. Now take a deep breath, because I will tell you what this magical food is that feeds the bacteria of happiness. And no, it is no expensive supplement sold in pharmacy. It is no imported miracle pill. It is so simple and so old that their great-grandparents ate every day without even knowing that they were doing something amazing for health. This secret food has a strange name that looks like a doctor's word, but I will explain in a way that even a 5-year-old will understand. It is called prebiotic, which is nothing more than the special fiber that serves as exclusive food for good bacteria. Think of the prebiotics as if they were dog ration, but for the good bacteria. Just as your dog has a specific feed that makes it shine and makes it full of energy, good bacteria have specific food that makes them grow strong and produce those magic substances that make your brain work better. The crazy thing is that you do not digest this food. It goes straight through your stomach and small intestine as if it were an express train. And only there in the large intestine where they live trillions of these bacteria, which the party really starts. When good bacteria eat these prebiotics, they have a chemical party and produce substances with weird names such as butyrato, acetate, and propionate, which are kind of premium fuel for the cells of their intestines. But the magic doesn't stop there. These substances enter the bloodstream, travel throughout the body, and reach the brain, where they work as messengers that tell the brain to make more serotonin, which is that hormone that makes you feel happy and quiet. Do you know that delicious feeling of being on a beach day without any concern? So it's serotonin doing your job. Here comes information that will blow up your head. 90% of all your body's serotonin is not done in the brain. As everyone thinks, it is manufactured there in the gut by your friendly bacteria when you give them good food. It's as if your gut was a secret factory of happiness that was hidden there all the time, and you didn't even know. Scientists have discovered this a short time ago and jaw-dropping, because for decades they thought depression and anxiety were just head problems. But now they know that the belly has everything to do with it. Recent studies have shown that people with depression have different bacteria in the intestine compared to happy people, and when scientists took the bacteria of someone depressed and put in the gut of healthy rats, guess what happened? The rats were depressed too, stopped playing, were quiet in the cage corner, and lost interest in things. This has proven once and for all that the gut bacteria control our mood in a way that no one imagined, and the key to having good and happy bacteria is in feeding them correctly. Now you may be wondering where to find these magical prebiotics in real food, because no one wants to be dependent on pill or dust for the rest of your life. The good news is that nature has already put prebiotics in several delicious foods that have existed thousands of years. The problem is that the modern food industry took these foods from our table and put in place processed sugar and fat foods that feed the bad bacteria instead of the good ones. I will tell you about some champion foods into prebiotics that will turn your intestinal and mental health if you start eating regularly. The first on the list is the green banana, the one that is still a little hard and was not yellow and with spots. You know why? Because when the banana is green, it has a special type of starch that works exactly as a prebiotic fiber. It goes straight through the stomach without being digested and arrives in the large intestine, where it becomes a banquet for good bacteria. As the banana matures and gets sweet, this sturdy starch turns into ordinary sugar, so loses the prebiotic power. So green banana beaten with oats in a blender is a happiness bomb for your bacteria. Another amazing food that most people play outside without knowing the treasure they are losing is the potato peel. When you peel out a potato and throw the bark in the trash, it is literally throwing away the richest part of prebiotics, because it is in the shell that it is concentrated, that special fiber that bacteria love. The solution is simple. Wash the potato well and cook with shell and all, or better, bake until crispy. Your bacteria will thank you, making you feel more willing and less anxious. Onion is another prebiotic superhero that is in the kitchen of everyone, but no one values right. That strong taste of raw onion that many people avoid is precisely the sign that there are powerful prebiotics working there. So putting raw onion in the salad or sandwich is one of the best things you can do for your bacteria of happiness. Garlic follows the same rule. The stronger and more raw, the more prebiotics it has. So that tradition of eating bread with garlic is not only hot, it is medicinal either. Oats deserve a special chapter in this whole story because it contains a type of prebiotic fiber called beta-glucan that is simply spectacular to feed good bacteria. When you eat oatmeal for breakfast, you are sending an army of prebiotic fibers to the gut that will slowly ferment throughout the day, keeping your bacteria satisfied and producing those compounds that improve your mood. The trick is to soak the oats the night before, because it further activates the beneficial compounds and makes it easier for bacteria to digest. Now I will tell you about a food that looks enemy, but is actually ally: sweet potatoes, especially when you let it cool after cooking. There is a crazy chemical phenomenon when you cook the sweet potatoes and let it cool in the refrigerator. Her starch reorganizes and becomes a resistant starch, which is pure prebiotic. So that cold sweet potato salad is not only delicious, it is a SPA treatment for your intestinal bacteria, and they reward you, manufacture more serotonin and making you happier. Legumes such as beans, lentils, chickpeas and peas are absolute champions in prebiotics, but many people stop eating them because they cause gases at first. Do you know why this happens? Because their bacteria have been without eating for so long that when they finally receive real food, they have a party so large that they produce gases as a byproduct of fermentation. But this is temporary. If you keep eating legumes regularly, your bacteria adapt and gases decrease, while your mental and physical health improves more and more. Artichoke is another forgotten food that should be on everyone's plate at least once a week. It is rich in inulin, which is like the caviar of prebiotics. Good bacteria simply go crazy when you eat artichoke. The same goes for the chicory root, which is where they extract the inulin that sell powder in natural product stores. But why buy the expensive downtown if you can eat real food and enjoy all the other vitamins and minerals QUE come together? Asparagus are another vegetable that many people wrinkle their nose, but is a treasure for intestinal health. Those green tolinos are loaded with prebiotics and also a compound that helps the body produce glutathione, which is the most powerful antioxidant that exists and protects its cells against aging. When you eat asparagus regularly, you are investing not only in the happiness of the present, but also in the health of the future. Now comes surprising information that will change the way you see food. The more varied your food in terms of different vegetables and fibers, the more diverse your population of good bacteria is. Think about it like a garden. If you plant only one type of flower, just one type of insect will appear. But if you plant 50 different types of flowers, it will attract butterflies, bees, ladybugs, and all types of pollinator. With its bacteria is the same thing. Each type of fiber feeds a different family of bacteria. So the more variety you eat, the richer and stronger your intestinal community becomes. Scientists have found that people who eat more than 30 different types of plants a week have a much larger bacterial diversity than people who always eat the same things. 30 types sounds a lot, but it's easier than you think, because it counts everything, every seasoning, each vegetable, every fruit, every grain, every chestnut. If you make a salad with lettuce, tomatoes, carrots, beets, onion, parsley, and chives, there are already 7 different types at once. Here is a revelation that will make you think different about that desire to eat sweet that appears out of nowhere, especially in the afternoon. This doesn't come from you. It comes from the bad bacteria that are shouting for sugar because that's what they eat. Bad bacteria are addicted to sugar and processed foods, and when you eat these crap, it is feeding the enemy army within you. These bad bacteria produce toxins that cross the wall of the intestine, enter the bloodstream, and reach the brain, causing inflammation. And then you get a bad mood, anxious, with a heavy head, and without energy. But when you decide to stop feeding bad bacteria and start feeding good with prebiotics, an epic twist happens inside. At first it is difficult. The bad bacteria will not give up easy and will make you feel even stronger to eat bullshit. But if you hold on for a couple of weeks eating a lot of prebiotics, good bacteria begin to multiply, are strong and numerous, and literally expel the bad bacteria of the intestinal city. It's like a superhero movie happening inside your belly, and you are the director who chooses which side will gain based on what he puts on the plate. One thing that almost no one knows is that sleep also depends on intestinal bacteria, because they help produce melatonin, which is the hormone that makes you sleep at the right time. People with bad bacteria have difficulty sleeping because melatonin production gets unregulated, so they roll in bed late, wake up in the middle of the night, and raise in the morning looking like a zombie, even though it spent 8 hours lying down. When you feed good bacteria with prebiotics, they help regulate your biological clock, and suddenly you start to feel sleepy at the right time, sleep deeply all night, and wake up arranged. There are people who spend fortunes on creams and skin treatments trying to end acne, rosacea, and other problems, but have no idea that it all starts in the gut. When bad bacteria dominate, they cause inflammation that manifests itself on the skin through pimples, redness, and irritation. Tip dermatologists already know this and have started treating skin problems taking care of the intestine first, because they realized that it is no use passing medicine and cream if the root of the problem is in food and intestinal bacteria. Allergies also have everything to do with the health of bacteria. Children who grow up eating prebiotic foods develop much less allergies than children who eat only processed foods, because good bacteria educate the immune system not to exaggerately react to harmless things like pollen or cat hair. So that rhinitis that chases you every spring may be linked to your gut-hungry bacteria asking for help. The entire immune system depends on intestinal bacteria to function right, because 70% of all body defense cells are located around the intestine. It makes sense when you stop thinking. The gut is the boundary between the outside world and the interior of the body, where food and potentially dangerous invaders enter, so the body concentrated there the largest army of defense. Good bacteria train this army every day, teaching the and defense to differentiate friends from enemies. And when you do not feed the right bacteria, this training does not happen, and your immune system is confusing and weak. Now, I will tell you something that can change your life if you suffer from that swollen belly that won't leave at all. This swelling is usually not fat. It is inflammation and gases produced by bad bacteria. When you eat food rich in prebiotics and expel bad bacteria, the belly disinches naturally without you having to do crazy diet or starve. Many people lose several inches of waist simply by healing the intestine and of breaking even more energy, better humor, and radiant skin. Constipation, that constipation that makes you go days without going to the bathroom, is also caused by the lack of good bacteria and prebiotics. Good bacteria produce substances that stimulate intestinal movement and leave the soft and easy to eliminate stools. When they are reduced, the intestine gets lazy and everything packs. Chemical laxatives do not solve the problem, they only treat the symptom, while eating prebiotics solves the root cause by fortifying the bacteria that make the intestine act as a Swiss clock. Its energy levels throughout the day are also controlled by intestinal bacteria, because they participate in the production of B vitamins that are essential for turning food into cellular energy. When you feel tired for no reason, it may be that your bacteria are not able to make enough vitamin B because they are weak and hungry. Feeding them with prebiotics, the production of vitamins increases and you feel that natural energy coming back without having to take energy full of caffeine and sugar. Mental concentration and memory also improve dramatically when you take care of intestinal bacteria. That feeling of mental mist, when you can't concentrate and forget things easily, can be caused by the inflammation that bad bacteria cause and reaches the brain. Students who start eating more prebiotics report that they can study longer, absorb the subject better, and get better grades in tests, all because happy bacteria are producing the right compounds that the brain needs to work at most capacity. Even body weight is influenced by the bacteria that live on you. They found that lean people have a type of bacteria in the gut, and overweight people have another completely different type. The crazy thing is that when they took the bacteria of lean people and put in the gut of overweight people, they began to lose weight more easily, even eating the same amount of food. This is because certain types of bacteria extract fewer calories from food and also accelerate metabolism. So the secret to losing weight may be to change the population of bacteria of their intestine through the right prebiotics. Now, the coolest part of this whole story is that you don't need doctors' permission, you don't need revenue, you don't have to spend money rivers to start turning your health through intestinal bacteria. All you need to do is go to the fair or on the market to buy real foods that nature has created, those your grandmother would recognize as food, and start eating more vegetables, more legumes, more whole grains, and less things that come in colorful packages with endless lists of impossible ingredients to pronounce. The transformation does not happen overnight, because bacteria need time to multiply and take control of the situation inside. But if you are consistent and keep the food rich in prebiotics for a few weeks, you will begin to notice subtle changes that will accumulate until one day you realize that it is no longer without reason, that you sleep better, that your skin is more beautiful, and that crazy eating will disappear because you simply disappeared because Now it's the good bacteria that are in charge, and they prefer real food. The future of medicine is walking exactly to this, understanding that the human body is not an isolated machine, but a complex ecosystem where trillions of microorganisms work in conjunction with our cells. Treating diseases without considering intestinal bacteria is like trying to fix a car, looking only at the engine and ignoring all other parts. The most advanced doctors are already treating depression, anxiety, autoimmune diseases, and even cancer, taking care of the gut first, because they realized that this is where the key to true and lasting health lives. You have the power to transform your life completely, just changing what you put on the plate and feed the right bacteria.